Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Tan and J-Man Show. Before we go any further, please give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. If you want to stay up to date with all that's happening in Tan and J-Man Show Nation, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tan and J-Man Show. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, so stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of the Tan and J-Man Show. It is March Madness. Doesn't feel like March Madness outside. It is miserably
freezing. It's sleeting. It's miserable.
Last week at this exact same time, I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Today, I'm wearing a sock cap. It's awful.
I will say, though, if it's like 50, you're in shorts.
The moment it hits 47 is the moment I decide to retire all pants. Shorts only. Unfortunately, today I am wearing sweatpants.
Well, that's you would have been a real warrior today if you were wearing shorts today.
Yeah, I wore shorts for a majority of the day, but
for work.
Yeah, when I came here, I put on the sweatpants. But we're glad you can join us to preview the NCAA tournament. We actually get an NCAA tournament preview show.
Feels great.
Feels awesome.
Even looking at these brackets here that we have not filled out yet, just blank brackets. I could just stare at this thing for a long time and it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's last year's we never even saw.
Yeah, this was our first episode last year where we had nothing to talk about. We just kind of had to
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Cram some stuff in.
A year. It's pretty cool, though. We can look back and say we got through a year of episodes.
Insane.
Every week.
Insane. Every single week.
Never took a break.
An hour every single week, too. Which
never took a break.
We thought we'd really struggle with.
There's a lot of lists and
other stuff that didn't even have to do with sports.
No.
We just kind of had to throw stuff together.
Plugging along.
Yeah. But
we do it for the nation.
That's right. The Tan and J-Man Show Nation. Got some Birdie Bogey for me?
Oh, you know I do.
Always. Here's Tanner having way too much confidence in me.
Here's the kiss of death. I think you got a good chance to get this right.
Oh, boy.
Rick Pitino. Good old Slick Rick.
Good old Ricky. He's in.
Slick Rick, yes. He is in the tournament with Iona. He has become the third coach to take 5 programs to the NCAA tournament. Who are the other 2?
I saw this the other day, but I don't remember who the coaches are. So.
I don't believe you.
I really don't, I promise. Birdie Bogey brought to you by Noble Gnome LLC. Fresh, locally grown, nutrient-dense produce from Bryce and Katie Romine of Mentone, Indiana. Like them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, and check out their website, noblegnomellc.com. They put a pretty cool bracket up of vegetables today on the face space. I'm going to pull that up real quick. We're going to choose our favorite vegetables. They are, however, excited to introduce the Farm Card program. Save money when you purchase one of their farm cards to use as credit towards sales at our booth at the farmers market. Sweet corn stands, flowers, a little secret we've been keeping, more details to come. That's what they say. Or other future a la carte sales. We have some pretty exciting product lines rolling out. You can save money, great for setting a budget, the perfect gift. And they have 3 amounts available. $240 equals $250 farm value. $475 equals $500 farm value. $700 equals $750 farm value. Visit their link that they put out on Facebook to purchase your farm card, and you'll be set for summer. You want to go through and choose our favorite vegetables?
Yeah, what do we got?
Let's see. I got to look them up because I don't know what the pictures stand for. Favorite vegetables. Top 4 will head to the next round. We got bell peppers, beets, carrots, cucumber, eggplant, sweet corn, tomato, zucchini. We both love sweet corn.
Yes. Yep.
I love tomatoes. Or sweet corn, first one. Send in.
I don't know what the second one would have been on there for me. Carrots. Carrots would have been number 2 for me.
Yeah, tomatoes number 2 for me. Tomato and sweet corn, pretty much toss up. But we voted for sweet corn because we both like that.
Yep. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Gotta love. Get your veggies. Almost forgot to do that. You want to just start off, talk NCAA tournament here a little bit?
Let's get right into it. Well, let's talk about the Big Ten tournament a little bit first.
Yeah, I
kind of want to give you that.
How did I forget about the Big Ten
I'd give you about 10 minutes just to rant a little bit.
I don't know if I'll be doing any ranting. I might take my shirt off and run around the room. No, I'm just kidding.
Please don't. For me, Elway, all the viewers. Please don't.
Big Ten tournament did not disappoint. We had some really good games.
Yes.
Ohio State was in a great game every single night, and they played 4 of them.
I take back what I said. I've been dogging them a lot lately. They had lost 4 consecutive games coming into the tournament. They shut me up because they played hard.
They played a lot better when they got down 17 than when they got up 17.
Yep.
Got up. I don't know how many points they were up against Minnesota. Like 15 with 7 minutes left. Minnesota comes back, makes it a 1-point game. Got up 18 at half against Purdue. Purdue comes storming back, forces overtime. Got up. I think they're up 13 against Michigan. Next thing you know, Michigan has the ball down 1 and the shot clock off. And then on Sunday against My Fighting Illini, they got down 17 this time, fought all the way back, even took the lead, and then went to overtime. So, yeah, we've been crapping on Ohio State for a little while, and they just kind of shut us both up.
Yep. Yeah, and, Friday against Purdue, Kyle Young's going nuts. Tied his career high with 18 points. Then he got hit in the head and got another concussion. He's had concussion problems. He's really had injury problems his whole career. So he didn't play Saturday or yesterday. I don't know what his status is for the NCAA tournament.
I'm not sure. He has concussion.
But they played pretty well without him anyways. But, you were right. I mean, you predicted Illinois to win it, and I did not. I thought I would get them, and then they weren't even. Yeah, I mean, it was close at times, but Illinois really had control pretty much.
Illinois is just locked in right now.
They are locked in.
They've won 13 of their last 14 games. They've won 6 straight. They've won 6 games over the past 2 weeks, all against Quad 1 teams. All Quad 1 games they've played, and they've won every single one of them. They're starting to blow teams out, too, which I didn't think they'd blow out. I mean, Rutgers, they win by 22. Iowa made it close late than it really was because Illinois was in control pretty much the whole game. Then yesterday, of course, Ohio State came back. But it just showed they have some stones to blow a 17-point lead, even be losing at one point, and to still find a way to win that game with Ayo Dosunmu not shooting the ball very well. But yeah, they're playing really, really good basketball right now. I said this yesterday to my dad. I was talking to him on the phone, and I said, man, if you're like a casual NCAA tournament-only basketball fan, which there's a lot of them out there, Illinois is a fun team to watch just because they play a fun style of basketball. They get out in transition. They run. They're leading the Big Ten in dunks this year. They have the most clutch player in college basketball in Ayo Dosunmu. They have probably the most physically imposing big man in college basketball in Kofi Cockburn, who leads the nation in dunks this year with 72. They have an incredibly entertaining freshman point guard in Andre Curbelo. They score a ton of points, set a Big Ten record for a Big Ten championship game in points yesterday with 91. And they're playing really good basketball. Now, does that mean they're not going to be prone to upset early? Absolutely not. I could see them losing round to 32 to Loyola Chicago or even Georgia Tech. But they're so locked in right now as a team. I don't know if you heard what Wally Szczerbiak said yesterday. But
I saw you tweet about it. It didn't surprise me, though, because Wally Szczerbiak does not like the Big Ten. Never has.
Which I don't understand that.
He's got to go back to high schools. And the only thing I can think of, he went to Miami, Ohio. Right? Maybe he just is mad that he didn't get Big Ten offers. I don't know.
He said he thinks Illinois will be the first number 1 seed to lose because he thinks there could be chemistry issues because Ayo Dosunmu takes the final shot of the game. He's the most clutch player in college basketball. If anyone else takes that final shot, I'm going to be upset, besides Ayo Dosunmu. He said he thinks there's chemistry issues behind the scene. There's pictures of them. I'll show you a picture right now, Tanner. This was yesterday, okay? I'm going to try to hold it up.
You should have shared it with me. I could have put it on the screen.
I should have done that.
All right.
Somebody's at the free throw line. All 5 guys have their arms around each other. There's no chemistry issues. They're so in sync. I think Wally's just a stupid person.
He's not a very good analyst.
So they're locked in, playing great basketball. Yesterday was arguably the best Big Ten championship game ever. It was only the second game in which the final score was 1 possession or less. Or there's no such thing as less than 1 possession. But there was a game that ended, I think it was Iowa when they won. They won by 2.
Yeah, they won over Indiana in 01.
I don't know if that was I think it was. And then Illinois wins by 3. Those are the only 2 games in which it's been 3 points or less. So it was just a great high-level basketball game yesterday. Both teams just punching back. And luckily, after all the crap Illinois endured with the Big Ten and the Michigan situation, Illinois went out and proved they were the rightful Big Ten crown and won the Big Ten tournament. It's nice to hang a banner.
They say they got to get a banner no matter what happens. At least they get one.
So that's nice.
So, we still got the COVID concerns for the tournament.
Right.
It's going to be scary every day.
I am far more concerned about COVID than I am Drexel or really any other team in the
Well, like we were
NCAA
talking,
tournament.
If Drexel would happen to get COVID, then Louisville replaces them.
Which is insanely just a terrible idea on the NCAA's part.
Yeah, I don't know what else they do, though. You can't redo the whole thing in a day.
At the same time, I wish they'd go with, I think Drexel's in, I don't know what, they're in CAA, the CAA conference. Yeah. I wish they'd choose the runner-up or something, just have them on standby.
Yeah, there's no easy decision there.
No.
You're going to make somebody mad.
That'd be wrong, though, if Louisville's playing in that 16-1 game. Really, outside of the 12, 12 seed should be the highest they could possibly go.
Right now, the two, and hopefully these two teams are fine. Virginia and Kansas are the two with worries, and that's a 3 and 4 seed.
Yeah. And they're in the same
Louisville's
bracket.
Body of work definitely didn't deserve a 3 or 4 seed.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't know why they put them in the same bracket. I can't figure that one out.
The NCAA made a few kind of head-scratching decisions with their bracket. I saw a lot of people ripping on Oklahoma State getting a 4.
Yeah.
Thought they should have been a 3 at the very least. Just a few others that make no sense. I saw people mad at LSU getting an 8 instead of a 6 or something like that. But it happens every single year. They have these guidelines of how they choose teams, but we really don't know what their actual thought process is, and I wish there was a little more transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So, just want to go through it and pick.
Yep.
We'll start with the West region.
I was going to go with the first 4 games.
That works too.
These two first 4 games, all 4 are going to be played down at Assembly Hall in Bloomington. Nope, I take that back. 2 of them are going to be played in Assembly Hall, 2 of them in Mackey. All 4 are going to be played on Thursday. That's where I was trying to go with that one. The 2 at Assembly Hall, Norfolk State and Appalachian State.
Give me App State.
Me too.
Just for the fun of it.
Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern.
Texas Southern.
I'll go Mount St. Mary's just to be different. The 2 at Mackey Arena, Wichita State and Drake.
Man, Wichita State had a real bad loss to Cincinnati in their conference tourney. Give me Wichita.
I'm taking Wichita State as well. I've seen them play a little bit. I have not seen Drake. Michigan State and UCLA. Michigan State going to a venue they've lost 5 straight games in. I know it doesn't mean anything, but they are playing UCLA and Johnny Wooden statues outside the arena.
Give me Michigan State.
There's jerseys inside the arena, but I'm taking Sparty as well. I think they are the better team out of those 2. So in the West region, we got number 1 overall seed Gonzaga, looking to become the first number 1 overall seed to win the national championship in 8 years. Against, we both had Appalachian State.
Gonzaga by 36.
At least. I have the Bulldogs as well. Good 8-9 matchup, Oklahoma and Missouri.
Oklahoma can't stand Missouri. Missouri really faltered at the end of the year.
They did. Well, I am taking the Tigers. So Missouri, old Big 12 matchup there. And I got some notes here, some stats. We already picked a 116 game. But, of course, there's only been one 16 seed over 1 seed out 2018, UMBC over Virginia. When it comes to 8-9, the Nines have the overall advantage 72-68.
Wow, that's a toss-up.
I mean, it is. That's as 50-50 as you can get.
I remember Illinois was a 9 a few years ago, and they just blew UNLV out. Gosh, that was 10 years ago now.
So I am taking the Tigers there. Tough game to predict here. Number 5, Creighton against 12th-seeded UCSB.
UC Santa Barbara.
Yep, they're a scary little team.
Creighton dealing with issues with their head coach. Who knows if they're really all together right now. They just got absolutely waxed by Georgetown in the Big East Championship game. Give me Creighton.
64% of the 5 seeds win over the 12 seed all time. I'm taking the Blue Jays, but in a close one.
Yes.
Another team that's hard to predict because we're just not sure right now. 4 seed Virginia against number 13 seeded Ohio. The 4-13 matchup, 79% of the 4 seeds win. But the games are usually pretty close.
Yeah. Ohio took Illinois to the brink early in the year.
I remember that.
Little point guard Jason Preston had, I think, 31. I just think Virginia's defense is going to be way too tough, and Virginia wins something like 57-50 or something like that.
I think Virginia wins that as well, even with, the protocols. I mean, they're not going to get into Indianapolis, I believe, till potentially Friday, and they play Saturday.
I was going to say.
So that's going to be cutting it pretty close there, but I think they'll be okay. 6-seed USC, and we have them playing 11-seeded Wichita State. In the first 25 years, 69% of the 6 seeds beat the 11 seed. In the last 10, only 47.5%.
Wow. That's insane. It's a good stat. Good poll there, T-Dog.
Thank you.
Give me USC. Their stud big guy, Evan Mobley, who's a projected top 3 pick right now. I think he'll be too much for either team.
I agree. I like USC. I have not watched a lot of Pac-12 basketball.
I haven't watched any Pac-12 basketball.
I did watch a little USC, though, this year, and I like the way they play. Number 3 seed Kansas against 14 seed Eastern Washington. I do know one of Kansas' players that averaged 12 points per game is not going to make the trip for the round 1 game. 85% of 3 seeds beat 14 seeds.
Shouldn't matter against Eastern Washington, so give me Kansas. But who knows if they'll even be able to practice this week's the thing.
Yeah, I know Virginia can't practice till Thursday. So I'm sure Kansas is probably in the same boat.
Right.
But I'm taking Kansas as well. We're kind of all chalk right now. This is a tough one. 7 seed at Oregon, 10 seed VCU. 60.7% of the 7 seeds beat the 10 seeds.
I watched a little bit of VCU yesterday. They're just their typical VCU team, tough defensively, really athletic. But give me Oregon. Oregon seems to find a way in the NCAA tournament, it seems like.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm taking Oregon. I hate that we're agreeing so much, but
I didn't pick too many upsets in this region, the West region.
No. And then you got 2 seed Iowa Hawkeyes against 15 seed Grand Canyon. Bryce Drew,
yes.
First-year head coach out there, makes an appearance, taking over for Dan Marley. Only 8 times have we seen a 2 seed upset by the 15 seed.
Former Illini assistant Jamal Walker, who was an assistant up until last year, is an assistant at Grand Canyon under Bryce Drew. Jamal Walker committed a recruiting violation for Illinois back in 2014, and he has to serve a 1-game NCAA tournament suspension, and it comes in 2021. 7 years later. Seems like there should be a statute of limitations on something like that. But give me Iowa pretty handily.
Yeah, I think Iowa wins easily. Let's move down to the East region. Number 1 seed Michigan. We got them playing 16 seed Texas Southern.
Who knows if Isaiah Livers will be back at all this season?
Doesn't sound like it.
Shouldn't matter against either of these 16 seeds. So give me Michigan in a pretty large one.
8 seed at LSU. Louisiana State Tigers almost won the SEC tournament. Lost a close one to Alabama against a very scary mid-major St. Bonaventure team.
St. Bonaventure, Logan Sport grad, Jalen Attaway is one of their best players. Averaged 12 points and 6 rebounds a game this year. Had a really big dunk yesterday in the time I was watching them. Give me LSU by 2. I think it'll be a great basketball game.
Finally going with an upset. Give me the Bonnies.
I like it.
Give me the Bonnies. I know that's a popular one for a lot of people out there, but I got to pull a few here and there. The 5-12 game, you got the Colorado from the Pac-12. They were runners-up in the Pac-12 tournament against Georgetown Hoyas, who were not going to make the tournament. Patrick Ewing got those guys hot.
Finally got a championship.
In his own home, in the arena he built. Not really, but at Square Garden.
Even though no one recognized him as he walked in, a 6'10" guy.
Do you know who I am?
Give me Colorado, though. I think Georgetown's obviously hot, and they won their conference tourney, but I think Colorado with McKinley Wright, who's one of the best point guards in college basketball, will be too much for him.
I'm going with the Hoyas. I'm going with the hot hand. It's because I like Patrick Ewing.
Do you actually like Patrick Ewing?
Yeah, I don't mind him. I shouldn't as a Pacer fan, but I don't mind him. It's more Larry Johnson and Starks and Spreewell. Van Gundy. 4-seeded Florida State. They have always been my Achilles heel in these brackets. I always put them going way further than they do against 13-seeded UNC G.
It seems like every year you can pencil Florida State in before the season as a 4 seed. It seems like they're a 4 seed every single year. Give me Florida State. Super athletic, great defensively. They
were also a runner-up in their conference tournament, the ACC tournament, to Georgia Tech. 6-seeded Brigham Young University against we have 11-seeded Michigan State.
Give me Michigan State. BYU obviously always can shoot the ball. Matt Harms, obviously for BYU now. Michigan State knows him pretty well, which I think they'll use that to their advantage. Give me Michigan State.
Matty Harms hits the game winner. Give me Brigham Young.
From how far out? Like 40 feet? Just pulls from...
A 15-foot jumper. Hair flipping all. Izzo pouting on the sideline.
Could you imagine how insufferable Harms would be if he hit a buzzer beater? Watch out.
Where's that game at?
They haven't... Well, obviously Michigan State plays at...
Mackey.
I'll check real quick.
Yeah, that would be tremendous if that game's at
Mackey. That'd be hilarious.
While you're looking that up, number 3 seeded Texas against 14 seeded
Abilene Christian.
Yeah, I could not
Give me
read
Texas,
that.
large.
I saw one person pick Abilene Christian in this game.
Really?
They do force more turnovers than anybody in the nation. Texas is turnover prone at times, but Shaka Smart's a good coach. He saved his job this year. I think Texas gets that one done. Wouldn't be surprised if it's close, though. Real good matchup here. 7-seeded Connecticut, 10-seeded Maryland.
It's at Hinkle.
Okay, darn.
Give me Maryland. UConn has one of the best players in college, at least best scorers in college basketball, and James Bouknight averaged over 20 a game. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But give me Maryland. I like the way they played against Michigan State. Got up early against Michigan and obviously lost that one on Friday. But something about Maryland, I think they get this one done.
I'm going UConn. I like Hurley. I think, even though I think his brother's a good coach, I think he's probably the better of the two. But I could see that being a coin flip. That's going to be a good game. Maryland's got good guards. But I like the way UConn was playing towards the end of the season. Then we got the 2:15 Alabama against Slick Rick Pitino and the Iona Gales.
Somehow Pitino gets in the tournament. It's insane. They were a 9 seed in their conference tourney.
They didn't play too many games.
No. Give me Alabama. Big.
Yep.
Moving on to the South region. Baylor, number 2 overall seed, playing Hartford.
Baylor by 100.
Baylor by quite a bit. North Carolina playing Big Ten team Wisconsin.
Awful draw for Wisconsin. I was surprised they were an 9.
I was not.
I thought they were going to be seeded a little better than that. Mm-hmm. This is a bad This is a bad matchup for them, athletic-wise. I got Tar Heels.
Wisconsin imploded down the stretch. Barely won any games. The only games they really won were against teams Penn State, Northwestern. Everyone else they lost to. Give me North Carolina. This Wisconsin team's not very good. I don't think they'll be good next year, even though everyone can really come back.
I'd be surprised if a lot of those guys come back, though.
Yeah, especially a guy like Trice, who's been there 7 years. He probably just wants to move on with his life eventually. I could see a guy like Davison being back or Reavers, but Wisconsin's not good. Give me Carolina.
Villanova and Winthrop's interesting matchup here.
Villanova playing without their best player, Colin Gillespie.
They haven't been the same since.
MCL. They got beat by Georgetown. I believe it was Georgetown.
Yeah, they choked it against Georgetown, and then they got whooped by somebody else a week ago.
Yeah, Creighton.
Yeah.
Creighton
yeah.
Give me Winthrop. Winthrop's only lost 1 game this year. They're kind of a sexy 12-5 pick to win that game. Give me Winthrop.
I would say this is the one that's getting picked the most for the 12-5 upset, but I'm agreeing. I'm going with Winthrop as well.
And when we talked about this before the show, when everyone's picking the 12 to win, it's usually the exact opposite, and Nova will come out and win by like 25. But
do we have anybody making any comments on Facebook by chance?
I've done a really bad job at checking that.
I just was curious. 4-13, Purdue and North Texas.
Purdue played really well in the second half against Ohio State. Give me Purdue large. They won't be able to guard Travion.
North Texas struggles on defense, except they played really good defense the week of the Conference USA tournament. I watched a little of their game against Western Kentucky the other night. North Texas shoots a lot of threes. Purdue allows their opponents to shoot more threes than any other team in the tournament. So that could really bite them if somebody's hitting. But I think Purdue's size is too much for North Texas. I think Purdue wins pretty easily.
Jaden Ivey has been a terrible three-point shooter this year until it matters. He's knocking in threes. It's insane.
Until it gets Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
He's hitting threes, So I think he's up for the moment. I think he's one that could shine for Purdue.
I agree.
Texas Tech and Utah State. Texas Tech is the defending runner-up, I guess you can call them.
Sure. Utah State's really good. They got in as an at-large. Who would have thought that? Give me Texas Tech, though. I just think Texas Tech's defense will be too much for the Aggies.
Been there, done that. Chris Beard and company survived. Yep. Move on. Arkansas and Colgate. Colgate averages more points per game than anybody in the tournament, 86 points.
And Arkansas scores a ton of points as well. First one to 97 wins. Give me Arkansas.
I have Arkansas as well. They're going to have some pace with them to beat Colgate, though. That was too easy. Too easy of a joke. It's kind of there on TV.
Didn't even get it until right now.
Florida and Virginia Tech.
Give me Virginia Tech. Haven't watched Florida at all this year. I was surprised to see they were a 7. But just because Chester Frazier's on that Virginia Tech sideline, I'm taking the Hokies.
I'm going to Gators in this one. This is another one that's really tough. I think it could go either way. I always kind of like Florida. So
you always kind of have.
I don't know why.
I love Noah. Joakim Noah.
I was never a big Noah guy.
Never mind. Al Horford.
That team was good for 2 years, but Noah got in the pros. I didn't like him at all. Yeah. But Ohio State and Oral Roberts.
Give me Ohio State. Pretty big. Oral Roberts could keep it close, though. Who knows if Kyle Young's going to play.
They always get in about a 14 or 15 seed.
Yeah. E.J. Liddell has to play better than he did yesterday. He shot 3 of 16 yesterday. Dwayne Washington was unconscious, though.
Yeah, he was. How that guy made third team all-conference.
Yeah, he's a great
Didn't
player.
Look like it this weekend.
Give me Ohio State.
Your boys, Illinois, against the Drexel Dragons.
I did a little scouting on Drexel. I haven't watched them, but I just checked their stats. Illinois could struggle against big guys that can shoot because Kofi Coburn is not real adept at guarding a big guy that can shoot. Drexel doesn't really have one. Their main big guy has only shot 5 threes this year. He's made 4 of them, which kind of scares me. But the fact he doesn't shoot that many should help. Drexel went 4-5 in the CAA. This game shouldn't be close, so give me Illinois by 25.
If I'm Drexel, I'm just chucking up threes all day long.
As many as possible. You're not going to score down low.
Now, last time Illinois was a 1 seed, 05, weren't they up only 1.5 on Austin P?
To Fairleigh Dickinson.
Oh, I thought it was Austin P. Okay.
Might have been Austin P. They lost Austin P.
You would know. You would know.
I'm pretty sure it's Fairleigh Dickinson.
It's in Indianapolis.
Yep. Give me Illinois.
Oh, yeah, I think Illinois runs away with this pretty easily. Maybe J-Man sweats for half of the first half, but that's it.
I'll be on edge. Trust me. They'll be up 27 against Drexel, and I'll be on the edge of my seat. 8-9 game, Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean and company. They were the darlings of the 2018 March Madness. And Georgia Tech, who got hot in the ACC tournament. Of course, it helped that they didn't have to play against Virginia. Josh Pastor and company got them in. Yeah. The committee could not help themselves by putting Loyola as the 8 or 9 in the Illinois side of the bracket. It just made sense. I thought that's what it was going to be the entire time. I hated it when I saw it. Georgia Tech leads the nation in steals.
ACC Player of the Year.
And they have the ACC Player of the Year. I don't remember his name.
I don't either.
Loyola Chicago, great defense, suffocating defense, smart, well-coached Porter Moser. Give me Loyola.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. Number 5, Tennessee against another team that wouldn't have gotten in the tournament unless they won their conference tournament. That's the 12 seed Oregon State Beavers.
Tennessee was a little bit of a disappointment coming in ranked pretty high. Still ended up getting a 5 seed, so that's a really good season. Give me the Vols.
Yeah, Rick Barnes, he's got to a Final Four before with Texas. He's an experienced NCAA tournament coach. I like them over the Beavers. Oklahoma State, one of the most exciting players in the nation, Cunningham, plays for them. Against 13 seed Liberty. Liberty's a scary little team. They play a lot like Virginia does.
Good Liberty team. Again, committee couldn't help themselves putting Oklahoma State in the same bracket as Brad Underwood.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Oklahoma State's rolling right now. They have the second most quad 1 wins in the country behind Illinois. Give me Oklahoma State. Cade Cunningham, too much.
I agree. 6th-seeded San Diego State against 11th-seed Syracuse. Boeheim gets in again.
Boeheim sneaks in. They got to stop living on the bubble, though. Come tourney time, the zone is really hard to figure out for teams, especially on short notice. So if Syracuse wins this one, which I am picking Syracuse to beat San Diego State, it could be a tough matchup for a team like West Virginia in the next round.
I'm taking Syracuse as well. I mean, we saw them as a 10 seed go to the Final Four back in 2016, I believe it was. So I'm not saying they're going to do that, but it wouldn't shock me for them to win one game. Huggy Bear and Company, West Virginia against 14-seeded Morehead State.
Give me West Virginia. They had their big guy transfer out, Oscar Shishibwe, I think his name is. But they've gotten better since he left. So give me West Virginia in that one.
Country Roads, take me home. I'm taking the Mountaineers.
They always do take you home.
Good matchup here. 7-seeded Clemson, 10-seeded Rutgers, making their first NCAA tournament since before we were born, 1991.
Would have been interesting if they would have lost to Indiana. They might have been one of the last teams in. They ended up beating Indiana on Thursday night. This is a pick'em game, and I'm picking Rutgers.
I'm taking Rutgers as well. I think that's just a little bit of the Big Ten fan in me.
Yeah.
But I think all of these Big Ten teams are going to be scary matchups for non-Big Ten opponents.
Right.
Like Rutgers, they got talent. I mean, Baker and Harper, this might unleash the beast in those two. So
especially with Rutgers having the talent to be like a top 15 team and then kind of disappointing a little bit this year.
Good old Kelvin Sampson and his Houston Cougars go against the Cleveland State Vikings. Kelvin's going to be coaching that game in Assembly Hall Friday night.
Isn't that funny?
That's hilarious.
Give me Houston. Cleveland State's good, though. I watched them in the are they in the Horizon League still? I think they're in the Horizon League.
They are.
Still a thing. In the Horizon League Championship. Really good team. Give me Houston, though.
I remember when Cleveland State knocked off Ohio State back in 2009, but I don't think it happens here. Houston's too good. Give me Houston.
We have a fan question from Ray Davis. He said, what are your thoughts on the Big Ten teams that get to play in Mackey? Do you think they should not have that advantage?
It's interesting. I thought at least one would play in Mackey. I was surprised when there was 4 or 5 of them, whatever the number is. I almost think both Illinois and Michigan should have been allowed to play there.
I agree.
Kind of give some, and they let Michigan, but kind of give them a break for being a 1 seed. I mean, or at least Illinois should have been back in Lucas Oil or something. I just feel like since you can't keep the 1 seeds at a close proximity at home this year, that could have made sense. But I don't see anything wrong with it, I guess.
I mean, it's basketball. I don't think playing in an arena that they've played at a bunch is really that big of a deal. It obviously would be a huge deal if there were 15,000 Purdue fans screaming against Michigan State. Sure. That would be the deal. But I don't think – because, I mean – as they did in Hoosiers, the basket's the same height, everything. Right. So I don't think it gives them that much of an advantage, if any at all, really.
Well, the interesting thing is they got a longer bus ride to there in Bloomington, whereas the other Indianapolis people, they're not far bus trips at all to get to the arenas. So, yeah, good question, though.
That is a good question.
Going back up to the West region, we both have Gonzaga. I have Missouri. You have Oklahoma.
I have Oklahoma. Give me the Zags.
Yep.
Oklahoma was another team. They got up to about 10th in the country, 8th in the country, and really struggled down the stretch.
Missouri, too.
They had some injury issues. Their best player got hurt. I think he's back now, but give me the Zags.
I agree. I just think Gonzaga's too good to trip up here. We both have Creighton against Virginia.
I picked Creighton, but this was before I really started to think about their issues with their head coach. But I'm sticking with Creighton. It'll be interesting to see if they make a change at the end of the year, though, Creighton.
Could. Definitely could. I'm going with Virginia in this one. But Virginia, the more I think about it, it makes me nervous with this COVID situation and the lack of practice they're going to have.
Sure.
But I think Tony Bennett and the squad wants to go out there and prove something. So, give me Virginia. USC and Kansas.
Again, COVID issues that I did not take into account when I was filling out my bracket. And I have Kansas here, but I'm switching it to USC right now. Give me the Trojans.
I'm taking Kansas still, but I'm right there with you. I mean, the COVID issues definitely are bothering me when I'm looking at these picks, but I still think Kansas is the better team. And I just can't think of the Kansas team not making at least Sweet 16. I don't know.
That's fair.
Oregon and Iowa.
Iowa's been playing pretty well.
It's not a Rose Bowl matchup.
Yeah. Iowa's been playing pretty well at the end of the year. They did not play well against Indiana. I didn't think they played that well against Illinois. I mean, they
didn't play well against Indiana.
They didn't
play
well against Indiana either. They lost to them twice. I didn't think they played that well against Wisconsin either. Wisconsin just could not score at all down the stretch in that game. Joe Wieskamp, he'll have a week off to kind of heal his ankle by the time they play Grand Canyon. I don't think C.J. Frederick's right yet either.
No.
But with that said, I'm taking Iowa regardless.
Yeah, give me the Hawks. Fran McCaffrey today got a contract extension through 2027 to 2028.
I love to hate that guy.
Yeah, he is fun to root against. Give me the Hawks. I just think they're a little better than Oregon this year. Michigan against St. Bonaventure.
I have Michigan against LSU.
That's right.
Give me Michigan in a real close one.
Exact same. I think Michigan,
real close one.
5 points or less against the Bonnies.
I agree.
I just think Michigan might slip up, but I'll take the Wolverines there. Then I got Georgetown against Florida State. You have Colorado against Florida State.
Give me Florida State. They're going to be my bugaboo this year, I'm telling you. They'll probably be put out in the round of 32.
Every year.
My bracket will be.
Every single year. I tell myself I'm not going to pick Hamilton and Florida State, and I have them going deep every year.
Single year it feels like they have a good draw, and they never win.
Yep.
Give me Florida State.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm Florida State. I have BYU against Texas. You have Michigan State against Texas.
Texas looked real well in the Big 12 tourney, beating Oklahoma State. Was that Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Texas is a hot team right now. They were a little disappointing there in the middle of January, kind of like Illinois, but then they got hot. Give me Texas.
I still can't get used to seeing Shaka Smart with hair.
It's
still weird to me. Give me Texas over BYU, over the Cougars.
This is on the topic of hair, but have you watched any Kansas State games this year with Bruce Weber? His hair is just, it looks like a fro. It's impressive. He's got a beard.
Bruce. Yeah. Bruce got a beard?
It sure looked like it when I was watching
it. I haven't watched Kansas State at all, so.
They're not good, and I'm sure he's going to be fired. But.
Yep. Then we both got, you have Maryland against Bama. I got UConn against Bama.
I don't think it matters who they play. Give me Bama.
Oh, I want to pull the trigger on UConn, but I just won't let myself. Yeah. I really want to, but I'm going to pick Alabama. I did see one analyst, I forget who it was, had UConn in the Final Four. I'm taking Bama.
Whatever happened to Kevin Ollie? Won a title and got
fired. I will say, before we get to the South bracket, here's a few other interesting stats. 33 of the last 35 tournaments, we've seen 12 straight double-digit seeds move on to Sweet 16.
Wow.
In 33 of the last 35, and in 12 straight, I should say. Since 1985, the one seeds that have made it to the Final Four, none has happened twice. One of the four seeds has happened 15 times, 2 13 times, 3 4 times, and all 4 just once.
Just once. I remember that was just a few years ago, I believe.
The number 5 seed is the only seed from 1 through 8 to still never have a national champion.
Wow.
Indiana and Butler both made the championship as a 5, and so did Florida back in 2000, but all 3 lost.
Interesting presentation.
Baylor against North Carolina.
Give me Baylor. Just think they're too good.
I
Jared
agree.
Butler, fantastic guard.
Winthrop against Purdue.
Man, I had Winthrop here yesterday, but I switched it to Purdue. I just think Travion's going to be too much for him.
I hope you're right. If Purdue can do it, that'd be 4 straight Sweet 16s for Purdue.
But Matt Painter needs fired.
Yep. Texas Tech and Arkansas.
Who are you taking? I assume you're taking.
I said Purdue. I wrote it down. Yeah. Sorry if I didn't say it. I just thought it was kind of.
Arkansas scores a ton of points. Texas Tech plays great defense. Give me defense. Defense wins the championships. As cliche as it sounds.
You're taking Tech?
Give me Tech.
I'm going Texas Tech as well. I could see that going either way. I like the way both these teams play, but give me the Red Raiders. Florida and Ohio State. It's not the Fiesta Bowl here, folks.
I have Virginia Tech, Ohio State, not the Fiesta Bowl as well.
Oh, that's right.
Give me Ohio State.
I'm going with the Buckeyes as well. I think they're clicking. I mean, I really bad talked them the last few weeks. They proved me wrong the last week. So. Illinois against Loyola Chicago.
I hate this matchup.
I mean, it should scare you. I mean, it'd be weird if it didn't.
Really, any game outside of the round of 64 is
you're one seed. You got the target on your back.
Yes, and I think Illinois embraces that, but still, you can't let your guard down at all because they've kind of done it this year.
They can't get in a position.
Northwestern.
like they did yesterday with Kofi 4 fouls
Nebraska.
and
Right.
what's
I
his
will
face
say
fouling out.
Georgie, which Georgie won him that game. He was the MVP.
He was
went on a
plug.
9-0 run himself. Give me Illinois in a really, really close one. I mean, Loyola doesn't match up athletically at all. And they do have some size. Cameron Krutwig is a really good big guy, but I don't think he can handle Kofi.
At least you won't have 15,000 rooting against you.
That's a good point. That helps a lot. I don't know. They haven't announced where the second round games are going to be played yet, so we don't know.
And Illinois should have maybe the most.
They might have the most fans at games just because they've been so hungry for this.
It's still going to be. I mean, I do love the fans being there. It sounds a lot better than none, it's still going to be weird just not hearing those huge roars.
It sounded like a full crowd yesterday, I thought.
That's just because we're so used to nothing.
Yes, I agree.
Because that was like 8,000.
I know, and 70,000.
It echoes big time in Lucas Oil. So
who are you taking?
I'm taking Illini by 7.
That's good. Probably 67-60, something like that.
Tennessee, Oklahoma State.
Give me Oklahoma State. Sets up a really good matchup with Illinois, two of the best players in college basketball, and Ayo Dosunmu and Cade Cunningham.
The NCAA made this region like the Orange region. Illinois, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Syracuse. I'm going to Oklahoma State as well.
Clemson. Did you say Clemson?
No, I didn't. Syracuse and West Virginia.
Country roads are taking me home. Give me West Virginia.
We're agreeing a lot.
Another interesting little storyline is if Illinois and West Virginia play in the Elite Eight. Brad Underwood is a Bob Huggins disciple, was on his staff for a long time.
Interesting tidbit there. Yeah, I broke that stat I just shared about double-digit seeds. I'm not going to have a double-digit seed in the Sweet 16 because I'm having Houston over Rutgers.
I'm having Rutgers over Houston. This will be the J-Man's Book It Prediction of the Week. There will be at least one double-digit seed that gets to Sweet 16. I think Syracuse and Rutgers are probably the two most likely. Winthrop is like one that could also do it. Michigan State as well could also very easily
don't even bring
get
that
to the
up.
Sweet 16. Makes me sick saying it.
If they win their first two games, they're going 5-4.
Book it. That's what I'm thinking. J-Man's Book Prediction of the Week brought to you by Ohio State Buckeye fan and Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Travis Wottring. For life, home, auto, renters, business, workers' comp, and farm insurance, contact Travis at 219-869-4561. Travis.Wottring@infb.com is his email. You can buy insurance in Ohio, and Tanner owes him a crispy chicken sandwich.
I do. Spicy chicken from Wendy's. We bet on the Ohio State-Purdue game, and I was feeling pretty good going to overtime.
Yeah.
I have beat him in one of those bets before, though, so this payback. And
he's also doing a bracket challenge. If
I was just going to say that. Yep, if you want to get into a bracket challenge, get a hold of Travis. He'll give you the details. It's always fun to get into that. And guarantee he has Ohio State coming out south. Let's go back up to the West. We're Sweet 16 matchups now. Gonzaga versus Virginia.
I have Gonzaga Creighton.
I keep forgetting.
That's okay. Give me the Zags.
Give me the Zags as well. I mean, they're the number one overall seed for a reason, in my opinion. They're just too good. They knock off the defending champs. Kansas and Iowa.
I have USC and Iowa. Give me Iowa. I don't like seeing them in the Elite Eight, but I just think they get there this year. I almost said Frank Garza. That's Luca's dad. Luca Garza. Tough matchup in an NCAA tourney, especially for teams that have never played him. It's been nice. Kofi Coburn's played him a bunch now that he knows how to kind of keep him under control, but teams like obviously Grand Canyon won't be able to stop him. I don't think Oregon or VCU will be able to stop him. Don't think USC or Kansas will be able to stop him. So
I got Iowa as well. Iowa, they haven't won the Big Ten championship since 1979. They haven't been in the Sweet 16 since 1999.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, they've had some good teams.
Had some good teams. They almost came back and won against Tennessee a few years ago in the round of 32.
Would have played Purdue in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. And I think Iowa was the 10 that year, if I remember correctly.
Remember when they were a 3 and got beat by Northwestern State?
Yep. My mom's side of the family, huge Iowa fans. That was the first game on that Thursday. Ruined my uncle's weekend. He was just talking about it the other day when I was talking to him. Said, couldn't watch another second of the NCAA tournament.
I've been right there before. Yeah. Yep. Down in the East bracket, I think we both have this matchup, Michigan-Florida State.
We do. Man, give me Florida State.
I hate it. I'm the same way. I hate it. I'm already hating it.
It's the worst.
I just want to go on record saying if they don't get there, I've never picked them again. But I've said that. I swear I've said that.
Yeah.
I picked them to win the national title one year, and they got out of the second round. Leonard Hamilton, come on, man. I have Texas and Bama.
I do too.
Okay.
Give me Texas. I just think they're playing really good basketball right now.
Give me Alabama. It's no fair to be this good in basketball and football.
I hate it.
Nate Oates in the second year, he's...
Yeah, and he will not be the new Indiana head coach.
No, supposedly he has no interest and just signed a long contract extension. I think his buyout's $19 million, which we will get to the Indiana job in just a second.
Maybe. We only have 15 minutes left.
I know.
Baylor, Purdue, we both have in the Sweet 16.
I got the Baylor Bears.
Too experienced
Yep.
for Purdue.
They're a very good team.
And they're a great team as well. So
I think they'll hit too many threes for Purdue to hang with.
Travion should be able to get his, but
yes,
for having young freshman guards against senior Jared Butler and guys like Macy O'Teague, going to be real tough to score.
Yep.
I have Ohio State, Texas Tech.
I do too.
Give me the Buckeyes.
Give me the Red Raiders.
I like it.
Texas Tech, 6 seed moving on to set up a Big 12 Elite 8 matchup. Illinois and Oklahoma State.
Two of the best players in college basketball. Brad Underwood's former team in Oklahoma State. I said last week I'm not picking Illinois to lose the rest of the year. I'm not doing it. Give me the Illini.
I got the Illini as well in a close one. I think a single-digit game.
I agree.
Oklahoma State.
Man,
close.
My heart might explode. Gonna have to wheel me out on a stretch, or I'm gonna be watching on my phone.
West Virginia. I got West Virginia and Houston.
I have West Virginia and Rutgers. Give me the Mountaineers.
I thought you were pulling the straight out of Rutgers, go to the Elite 8.
Man, I hope so. Unless Illinois doesn't get there, then I want Rutgers to lose the first
If Rutgers
round.
makes Elite 8, Pikel's going to have a statue built for him on campus.
He probably already should.
Anyways. Give me Sampson and the Cougars.
See, that's the break Illinois got in this region, is having Houston as the number 2.
Yep.
But we both have Zaga and Iowa, I believe.
Give me the Zags going to the Final Four.
Gonzaga blew out Iowa earlier in the year in South Dakota.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Give me the Zags.
I have Florida State and Alabama.
I have Florida State, Texas. I'm taking Florida State.
I'm not doing it. I've done it before. I've been burnt. I hate this pick anyways, but I'm taking Alabama. I'm not doing it, Leonard. I'm not doing it. Not this year.
Baylor, Ohio State.
I got Baylor and Texas Tech. Give me the Baylor Bears.
Give me Baylor Bears as well. This team's set up to win a national title. Illinois, West Virginia.
I got Illinois, Houston.
Yeah, now I'm doing it now. Give me Illinois. I'm not picking against them.
I don't want to do this. I'm not going to be right. But if you remember in my bold predictions, I said 2 non-Power 5 teams were making the Final Fours. I got to take Houston, and I hate it, but I'm trying to get my bold predictions going.
I hate how many people are picking Illinois in their Final Four. All 4 of the ESPN guys picked Illinois in their Final Four, 2 of them in the national championship. None of them had them winning the national championship, but I hate that.
Gonzaga, Illinois is the most popular national championship pick.
I hate it. So. I wish they'd fly in under the radar, but I guess you can't when you're a 1 seed.
No.
Which sucks. I have Baylor, Illinois. You have Baylor, Houston.
Give me the Baylor Bears going to the championship.
I'm taking Illinois, as I said. And I have Gonzaga, Florida State. You have Gonzaga, Alabama.
Give me Gonzaga.
Give me Gonzaga as well. National championship, Gonzaga, Baylor. Gonzaga, Illinois.
I got the Zags breaking the Indiana's undefeated, being the last undefeated team. I got Gonzaga.
Score.
79-70.
I picked Illinois 87.
I'll even write that down. 79-70.
I said it last week. I said
keeping
it
this down here.
2 weeks ago. I was not going to pick against Illinois the rest of the year.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Here
I'd
we
do
are.
the exact same thing.
My bracket's probably
And I really don't like picking
busted
Houston
by
over
Sunday.
them, but I'm trying to keep my bold predictions up there. I made them for a reason, just like I got to remember to make the White Sox in the ALCS.
Go ahead. I do not care.
Right before we move on real quick, I went back and listened to our Big Ten predictions. I wanted to see where we had them all finishing and how close we were. You had Illinois winning the Big Ten. They
nailed it.
Came in second.
Nailed it.
Sorry, you're close.
I nailed it.
You had I had Iowa winning the Big Ten. They came in third. I had Illinois second. You had Iowa second. You had Michigan third. Kudos.
That was a good one. I was proud of that one early.
I had Wisconsin third. They finished sixth. We both had Sparty 4th. They were 9th. We both had Rutgers 5th. They were 7th. You hit the nail on the head with Wisconsin at 6. I had Indiana at 6. They were at 10th. We both had Ohio State at 7. They were 5th. You had Indiana at 8, so you had them closer than I did. I had Michigan at 8. Whiffed there. We both had Purdue at 9. We both whiffed there. They were 4th. We both had Maryland at 10. They were 8th. It's not too bad. Minnesota, we both had 11th. They were 12th. I had Northwestern 12th. They finished 13th. You had Penn State 12th. They finished 11th. We both had Nebraska at 13th. They finished 14th. You had Northwestern 14th, and I had Penn State 14th.
Yeah, they were a little better.
They were 11th.
Hired a new coach today, supposedly.
Micah Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Yep. Purdue's assistant coach, which he was assistant under Brad Stevens at Butler, then went to Purdue, then followed Brad to the Celtics, came back to Purdue wanting to be a head coach. So good for him. That's a big time, first time coaching job.
I think he'll do a good job there.
I do too.
Whether you want an epic burger, hand-tossed pizza, hand-breaded tenderloin seafood, or a craft beer or a handcrafted cocktail, the Dam Landing is the place to be. The Dam Landing is a bar and grill located on beautiful Lake Manitou. It focuses on freshness and quality. The Dam Smoke is here every single weekend. It will feature barbecue and steaks. In addition, you can wash it down with one of their 16 beers on tap, including a constant rotation of today's best microbrews and domestic flavors. I tried to memorize it and I couldn't do it. Taking the fantastic views of Lake Manitou on their beer garden or outdoor bar area. Whether it be boats or wheels, the Dam Landing is the place to be, located at 1305 Ewing Road in Rochester. This episode's also brought to you by Circle 15 Golf. It is a brand focused on bringing tour quality products and experience to the everyday golfer. Built on 25 years of tour experience, featuring the Genesis glove, the most durable and comfortable glove available in the patented Glove Hub, the first and only glove humidor on the market. Find them at circle15golf.com.
And I don't have them down here with me this week because I put in my golf bag, because my golf bag's going to be going in the trunk of my car here soon, because the golf course here in Rochester is finally open. Everywhere else around the area, their courses have been open for a week or so, but of course it opens up today and it's like 30 degrees outside. So I'm not playing today, but hopefully it gets warm enough this week I can go get a little practice in and break in my Genesis glove.
Yes, sir. Ready to be educated real quick?
Yes, I am.
In 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, now known as the Cincinnati Reds, became the first professional baseball team.
1869.
1869.
Haven't won Jack since. They have, but not in a while.
1912, pitcher Cy Young retires from baseball with 511 wins.
You know you're good when you have an award named after yourself.
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, a bunch of cricket.
You still need to look up the rules of that game.
I do.
One job.
I screwed up. A lot of LPGA. 1962, Wilt Chamberlain is the first to score 4,000 points in an NBA season.
He broke all the scoring records to begin with.
Pretty good. We're in the 80s and not a whole lot. In 1988, on this day, the NFL St. Louis Cardinals officially moved to Phoenix.
Yeah, I knew that happened in the 80s, but I would have guessed it was earlier in 88.
Yeah. A lot of Big East tournaments.
Yeah.
A lot of ACC tournaments. That's it. That's all I got this week. It was a pathetic week for On This Day. I apologize.
It's all right. And the On This Day is brought to you by, like it is every week, Proforma Printhouse. If you're looking for a trustworthy, dependable resource for your next trade show, company picnic, or sales meeting, Proforma Printhouse has over 50 years combined experience of promotional products and commercial print. They strive for fast and efficient response to all your print needs. You need to look no further. Let them be your one-source print and promotional company, and give them a call today at 574-210-3815.
I have some word association here real quick, T-Dog,
Looking
before
forward to this.
Sign off. All of college basketball national championship MOPs the past few years. I have 15 of them, starting with Kyle Guy.
Clutch.
Yeah. Hair would have been one.
Yeah, man bun.
Ryan Arcidiacono.
Tough name to pronounce.
Unselfish. He's the one that shoveled it to Chris Jenkins to shoot the shot. Shabazz Napier.
Flashy. I forgot about him completely.
Man, that team was 7, weren't they? And they went to the national championship and won. Anthony Davis.
Beast. I mean, he was just stupid in college. Still is.
Was he a better college player than Zion?
I think so.
I agree. Kemba Walker.
Crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Step back. I should have said step back against Pittsburgh in the Big East.
Gary McGee went falling down. Kyle Singler.
Annoying.
Yeah. Mario Chalmers.
Another, I want to say clutch. Mm-hmm. I'll say clutch again. I'm going to try not to use that word again, though.
We mentioned him earlier in the show. Joakim Noah.
Irritating. He was that good. He was just, you wanted to punch him.
He was one of those guys, it's cliche, that you love him if he's on your team and hate him if he's not.
Yep.
Sean May. I got a few choice words on this one.
Big bruiser.
Emeka Okafor. Probably haven't heard that name in a while.
Oh, man. NCAA March Madness cover athlete.
There you go. Carmelo.
Diaper dandy. He was one of the best.
He was kind of the first kind of one and done type of player.
And he was good.
He was amazing at Syracuse. Shane Battier.
Sharpshooter.
Mateen Cleaves.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to keep it PG because he's a criminal, but remember he smiles and dances.
Yeah. Richard Hamilton.
Face mask.
Oh, Rip Hamilton. He started wearing the face mask when he was in college?
No, on Pistons, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. So I don't remember him from college.
I don't either. Keith Smart. You don't remember this guy either from college, but we know of him.
Ugh. Yep. Ugh.
That's perfect. That's all I got.
Seen that highlight way too many times.
The word association.
And the word association segment is brought to you by Rhett Lee, attorney at law. Rhett Lee and the law office of Andrew Akey are located at 206 4th Street in Logansport, Indiana. Rhett provides legal services to the people of North Central Indiana and practices criminal defense, family law, and personal injury. If you need a lawyer who cares about your results and will fight for you, call him today to schedule a free consultation at 574-722-2221.
I think I have one of the Birdie Bogeys correct. I can't think of the other one, though.
And the Birdie Bogey, once again, is brought to you by Noble Gnome LLC. And the Birdie Bogey question for everybody who might have missed it at the top of the podcast. Rick Pitino is the third coach to take 5 programs to the NCAA tournament. Who are the other 2 coaches?
Lon Kruger.
Lon Kruger is one.
He was at Illinois, Florida, Oklahoma, UNLV, and I don't know where he was.
Kansas State was his first one.
Kansas State, okay. There's one guy that popped into my head, but I think he's only done it 4 times or at 4 different schools. Oh, is this guy still active?
Yes.
Is he in the NCAA tournament?
You're asking a lot of questions.
Shoot. Tubby Smith.
Give yourself a birdie, J-Man.
Really?
Yes. Yes, Tubby did it at Tulsa, Georgia, Kentucky, Minnesota, Texas Tech, and High Point.
He did it at High Point, huh?
I wrote that down now. I'm thinking he didn't do it at High Point. I think he got him there. Did he get him there 2 years ago or no?
I don't know. I'll look it up, though.
Maybe he was going to get him there last year, and then they didn't go. I think I'm wrong. But anyways, he got Tulsa, Georgia, Kentucky, Minnesota, and Texas Tech. Can you name the 5 Pitino got?
Providence.
Yep.
Kentucky.
Yep.
Louisville.
Yep.
Iona.
Yep. Missing his first one.
He was at somewhere before Providence. Marshall.
Boston University. He's also with the Celtics.
He did not do it at High Point or Memphis, but he has 5 anyway.
Yeah, I knew it at Memphis. He was over there 2 years.
Yeah.
Kind of got a raw deal.
He went 9-23 last year at High Point, 9-15 this year.
I don't know where I got. Maybe I just wrote down where he was now. And yeah.
I didn't
know he was at Georgia.
Kruger was the first one that popped into my head. Tubby was also right there.
Eddie Sutton was close. He got
really?
4.
I wouldn't even thought of Eddie Sutton.
He got 4. So, wrap us up for episode 226 there, J-Man.
Thanks for watching the Tan and J-Man Show live on the ISC Sports Network. It's March Madness. Tanner's taking Friday off to watch the game. I'm taking Friday off to watch the games. We'll have a lot of fun live tweeting it. Unless Illinois loses the 3rd game on Friday, then you won't hear from me much until like June. So hopefully I survive.
I'll be looking for a new co-host.
Thanks for watching, though.
Buy some merch.
Promo code
Madness.
All caps, Madness.
20% off select items till April 6th.
Get some stuff. We will be back at it next Monday to talk about Illinois' loss to Drexel. Hope you have a nice week, everybody. See you later.